Just a quick tip video here. If you're trying to check your oil with one of these big old long dipsticks that don't have the hash marks and you're doing all the right steps, you let the engine set for half hour or 45 minutes. In this case, this engine's been set for about an hour. You pull the dipstick out like we just did, you clean it like you're supposed to, and then you pull the dipstick out to get your reading, and you're like, what on earth? How do I interpret this? Because you've got oil coming all the way up to here, your high, let me turn it this way. You got oil in your high depression, so that's the low mark, that's the high mark, and you're saying, oh no, somebody overfilled my oil, how did this happen? Well, here's the tip. Before you go down that path, clean the dipstick off like that, and just set it to the side for about an hour or so. The reason this tip works is because there's a curve in this big old long tube. The curve will catch a little bit of oil, and it only needs a tiny little bit, like little droplets of oil, to mess up your interpretation of this reading on the stick because it gets caught in there. So if you pull the stick out for a little while, give this some time for the oil to drain back into the crankcase, especially if the oil's hot. It typically happens pretty quickly. You can come back in an hour and you'll see how much easier it is to interpret the level using the dipstick. Alright, so it's actually been a couple hours, got distracted, but I'll put this back in here now and show you how much easier it is to see the level. Make sure you got it pushed all the way in, and let's see here if I need the other light. Looks like I'll be able to even get it on this light. There you can see how much easier that is. You can see there. That the oil level is to about right there. There's no oil in that depression. So that little depression there, that's the high mark. It's just a lot easier to read when there's not oil on this area. It's not that you're getting a different reading, because you know, after whatever period of time, but the oil is draining back into the crankcase pretty quickly. But it's just easier to interpret when you don't have any tiny little bit of oil here, or filling up that hole, making you think that you might have an overfill. So that's the tip. Just wanted to share that. Hopefully this helps you if you have to deal with one of these big old long dipsticks that don't have the hash marks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next repair.